The anime opens in 2020. A meteor shower of black stones blanketed the sky and landed on Earth. Monsters known as D2 emerged from the meteors and attacked humans. Humans tried to fight back, but nothing could stop the monsters. Until one day, some people awakened the strange ability to fight back through the force of music, known as conductors and music arts. Every music art power stems from musical creations. However, their power can only be exploited when they are assigned to a conductor who harnesses their life force to unleash the music art's full potential. Takt, a little boy, has always respected his father's hard work. His father, Kenji, is a music composer who is constantly concerned with who would listen to the music he created. Takt was so proud of his father that he began to play the piano, thinking that one day the two may perform together. However, one day while his father was performing, it was assaulted by the D2. Takt sobbed as he attempted to rouse his father awake, but he never awoke. Everyone mourned Kenji's death except him, who attempted to cope with his emotions by playing the piano. A guy named Sagan, the leader of the New York Sinfonica, the monster-fighting squad, delivered a speech in Kenji's honor. He paraphrased the maestro who has long stated that music brings people comfort and hope. Sagan then shared a secret with the public. Conductors can use music to defeat demons. However, when performed by civilians, it has the potential to attract monsters. From that day on, regular people were prohibited from playing music. Takt has spent the past 10 years sequestered in his soundproof garage. He practiced the piano indefinitely. Fortunately, he had some cute neighbors, Cosette and Anna, who would stop by once a week to make sure he ate and cleaned the house. Takt, on the other hand, found dealing with Cosette irritating. As soon as she arrived, he told her to leave. However, she always ignored him and began cleaning, which irritated Takt because he couldn't play with the noise. They began to argue, but Anne, as usual, intervened and reprimanded them. They went for brunch and Cosette proposed that Takt play the piano outside. She wanted everyone to hear his music because she thought it would make them happy, but he declined because there were no pianos left outside. Anna then informs Takt that her family pledged to take care of him after his father died. However, she explains that one day she and Cosette would leave for New York, leaving him alone. She was concerned since Takt had not left the house since his father's death. He claimed he would never leave and would only preserve his songs. In the afternoon, he was playing the piano as if his father were the conductor. He gave it his all, but Cosette stepped in and interrupted him. She informed him that there will be a Sinfonica festival, and this was his opportunity to perform the piano. It was a day when everyone could relax and be joyful again. However, he rejected again, claiming that people had abandoned music. In addition, he, like his father, does not believe that his music is excellent enough to reach everyone's hearts, and only Anna and Cosette have ever heard him perform. Cosette grew unhappy, and before leaving, she mentioned that she appreciated his music. The next day, while Takt was not around, Cosette began playing the piano. He arrived unexpectedly and was shocked because he had no idea she could play piano. She claimed her late mother taught her. She informed him that at the event, only Sinfonica-prepared music could be played, which sounded unjust. She asked him to make a startling street debut, but he refused again. Anna entered the room to take out the garbage, and she told him that the only person who could make Cosette happy was him, even though he thought she was a nuisance. The next day, Takt discovered that Cosette had taken his piano to the festival without his permission. People started gathering, but Takt hadn't arrived yet. Cosette decided to pass the time by playing while Anna went to look for him. Takt arrived a few minutes later and began playing the piano. He wanted to demonstrate what true music was. Everyone was astounded by the amazing music. Cosette eventually chose to join, and they played together. They appeared to be having a good time while playing. After his performance, Cosette happily grabbed and lifted his hand to thank the audience. Suddenly, an explosion erupted where they were, and various D2 creatures appeared around the city. Takt eventually recovered consciousness and found his right arm was damaged, with numerous rocks penetrated. He feels heavy and looks down. He notices Cosette is badly damaged by the explosion and attempts to wake her up. She opened her eyes and told him she was correct. She compliments him on how well he plays the piano. She suddenly shuts her eyes and he realizes these are her final words. Anna arrives and is surprised to see her younger sister in such a situation. Takt starts crying, pleading with her to open her eyes. At that time, Cosette's necklace began to glow. She begins to float as a rose erupts from her chest, releasing thorn vines that imprison Takt's arm. Takt then looks down and notices some kind of spirit. The spirit approaches and bites off his arm. Suddenly, the thorns and rose return to Cosette's body, and she takes on a new appearance. Anna cannot believe her sight, but Cosette summons Takt Maestro. It's astounded by her new appearance. Cosette then summons a baton from her chest and gives it to him. Takt takes it, perplexed, but Cosette discloses she can sense creatures around and requests permission to exterminate them. He can't bear to look her in the eyes, but his expression turns angry as he instructs her to delete them all. Anna couldn't believe her eyes when she saw her transformed sister going toward the battlefield beside Takt. Takt raised his baton, causing many bullets to hit the beasts. Cosette then followed up, eliminating all of the monsters that had appeared in her path. Takt used the baton to direct her movements, and Cosette defeated the creatures with her magic weapon and speed. Some monsters targeted Takt, but he evaded them. Cosette joined his side, and he told her to kill them all. She charges up a magical attack that consumes a large portion of his life force. She fires an energy ball from her weapon, resulting in a massive blast that defeats the monsters. Takt becomes enraged because the monsters were destroyed without making a sound. He then notices Cosette falling forwards. He approaches her body, and his arm regenerates. Suddenly, more creatures appear, and he passes out. Suddenly, Lenny and Titan arrive on a motorcycle. The girl swiftly gets into action and begins defeating all of the monsters. Simultaneously, we witness someone on top of a skyscraper destroying a playing tuning fork. The next day, Takt awoke from a dream in which he saw Cosette go away after listening to him play piano. He then examined his damaged hand and discovered some black patches. He went down to his garage to find Cosette. However, something is off. Her eyes are wide open, her voice is monotonous. He called her name, but she responded that Anna also called her that name, but her true name was Destiny. He's perplexed, but she repeats, calling him Maestro. Takt attempts to take it slowly, telling what happened the night before and what strange things happened to the two of them. Destiny then informed that she was birthed from Beethoven's Fifth Symphony Destiny. She discloses that she is a musicart, whereas Takt is a conductor. Still perplexed, he spoke with Anna about what was wrong with Cosette. She presented him to Lenny and Titan, describing how they had saved him the day before and they began to eat. Lenny revealed that when the meteorites known as the Black Knight Ceterate landed, the D2 creatures arrived and could not be defeated. Until Symphonica invented the musicarts, even powerful technology couldn't stop them. Their power came from the Harmony mineral, which had the opposite energy as the D2 beings and reacted to music. With their increased power, they were able to put the D2s into dormancy and conclude the conflict. That's what prompted the Sagan Declaration. Takt asked Lenny why Cosette was behaving strangely, almost robotically. Lenny informed him that they were unsure how the D2s arrived on the scene. Lenny explained that a musicart metamorphosis generally entails a lengthy procedure in labs when they demonstrate potential, but he couldn't understand why Cosette became one naturally. He explained that it is an unusual event, and that those who become musicarts lose their memory. Anna was concerned that they would have to fight D2 creatures, but Lenny explained that she is no longer Cosette. He explained that persons who become musicarts lose their identities and memories. Titan underwent a similar experience. Takt realized that if Cosette had not shifted, she would have perished that day. Anna burst into tears after hearing this. Lenny informed them that musicart's powers can be employed in a stable manner, but Destiny was no longer in armored state and was now in sleep mode. This mode was unthinkable, and something was wrong with her ability to regulate her energy production. Later that day, Anna and Takt planned to travel to New York to explore Cosette's situation at the Symphonica headquarters. Anna's parents and sister also resided there. However, getting there was difficult and perilous because they had to cross through areas with numerous D2 beasts. Lenny gave suggestions on places with lower D2 activity. Anna asked Lenny if Cosette could be cured in New York. He replied that he wasn't certain, but there was a possibility. He said that he did not want to travel to New York, but could accompany them for a large portion of the voyage. Takt expressed gratitude for what Lenny was doing, and Lenny went to gather his belongings. Anna informed Takt that she hoped Cosette might be cured and return to her former personality because she was currently emotionless. Anne claimed that Cosette became a musicart because she was protecting him. Takt's arm vanished and Cosette changed, flying away at tremendous speed. Takt proceeded to find her. Lenny arrived and informed Anna that musicarts could detect D2 monsters from a long distance, implying that Destiny had gone to defeat them. Lenny and Titan also pursued them. Takt discovered Cosette fighting a D2 beast. He asked what she was doing, and she said that her job was to kill the D2 animals. She handed Takt his baton, and Destiny used her weapon to take out the D2 creatures, but more kept arriving. Lenny and Titan came to help. Takt appeared to be in horrible shape, so Lenny inquired as to what was happening. Takt felt as if he was drowning in excruciating anguish. Lenny noticed Destiny absorbing Takt and commented that usual musicarts don't do this, but she isn't typical. Destiny apparently consumes Takt's life energy in order to fight. Titan defeated the remaining D2s, but Destiny wished to join her. Her random shots forced the D2 beast to flee. As Anna waited for them to return, the final D2 emerged. Destiny inquired whether it was okay for the house to be one of the casualties, and he gave her permission to remove the threat. After Destiny blasted the final D2, the house was destroyed. The next day, they left for New York with Lenny and Titan. Along the journey, they defeated some D2 beasts but suffered with Takt being seriously harmed after each combat. Lenny suggested Takt to listen to Destiny's music and blend it with his own in order to battle together. The conductors serviced music by directing the tones known as music arts and transforming them into the tunes they desired. A man named Jonathan arrived in a car and recognized Lenny. He took them to Las Vegas, which had been changed into cornfields after the D2 creatures demolished the casinos and hotels. Jonathan then presented Lenny and Titan to his girlfriend, and everyone laughed until Lang, accompanied by bodyguards, inquired about their presence. Lang owned the farm. Lang was overjoyed to learn that Lenny was a conductor and expressed gratitude to Symphonica for her assistance. Lenny explained that they had come to visit acquaintances. Lang advised them to ask him if they needed anything. During dinner at Jonathan's house, he informed Anna and the others that Lenny had saved them from D2s in their hometown. Takt and Lenny discussed how individuals in this neighborhood had previously been unaware of the D2s. Lenny explained that it was better that way since they would tumble into anarchy again. He then discussed the value of music and Symphonica's aim to defend it. Takt then went to bed, and Lenny went to Lang and gave him a large sum of money. Takt was laying in his bed when Cosette detected vibrations in his room. She was dubious whether it was a D2, so she investigated. She saw an abandoned-looking building with a notice not to enter, but they stepped inside regardless. As they moved, they noticed individuals inside. Cosette entered, but Anna stopped her. The guards attempted to stop her, but she easily overpowered them. Titan and Lenny were already inside, discovering a contemporary casino. Lang informed them that the facility was only open to a few people, including Symphonica's regulars. Takt and the girls were able to infiltrate, and Cosette was still trying to listen to the vibrations, but they were detected, resulting in a chase by security. They were encircled, but more D2 creatures appeared, causing Cosette to change. Lenny and Titan came, intending to utilize the D2 animals to practice fighting in synchrony on their way to New York. Lenny advised them on how to shoot within a few shots. They used the skills to defeat the D2 animals, exhibiting magnificent harmony. Titan stopped Lang from taking the money that belonged to the field laborers. The next day, they were set to leave, and Lenny said goodbye because he had other plans. Before leaving, Lenny instructed Takt to become the light that shines on everyone, just as his father had stated. Takt was astonished, and he thanked Lenny for teaching him how to combat Destiny before they parted ways. In another scenario, a man told a commander named Felix about Takt and Cosette, noting that they were not listed in any database as conductors or music arts. He was about to warn Sagan, but Felix stopped him, indicating he would handle the situation himself. The group repaired a tire on the highway, and Anna became exhausted and requested Takt to continue, but he didn't know how. Cosette mocked him, claiming he lacked any other talent besides music. Takt became frustrated, but then she spotted a D2. Cosette transformed, quickly flying, shooting and slaying a D2 beast. When the train arrived, Walkure, another music art, confronted Cosette. She questioned why Cosette had stopped the train. Felix, along with his music art dubbed Hell, appeared. He knew Takt and Cosette from images and offered to escort them to their destination on the train, which they accepted and boarded. Felix explained that they were transferring Black Knight's Ceterate to a Symphonica facility. Walkure was on edge, but Felix advised her to tell the truth because they were already on board. Felix noticed that Cosette was not your typical music art. He identified himself as a commander and asked Takt how he received such a rare music art, as these weapons are difficult to obtain. Anna was upset when Felix referred to Cosette as a weapon, but Felix persisted, saying that they are designed to attack the D2 creatures. Takt refused to explain how he got Cosette as a music art, so Felix dispatched Walkure to take them to their chambers to relax. Walkure expressed her distrust and advised them not to meddle with their missions. Takt didn't understand, but Cosette detected many D2 creatures and transformed, climbing onto the train to battle. Walkure resisted at first, but after seeing the D2 creatures, he joined the fight alongside Cosette. Takt inquired as to why Hell was not assisting in the elimination of the D2 creatures, to which Walkure replied that Hell would not act unless she believed the commander was in danger. Walkure was sufficient to remove all risk. A D2 beast came behind Takt, but Cosette quickly dispatched it with her sword. They vanquished all of the D2 creatures, but the train had to stop since Cosette had destroyed the tracks, which needed to be repaired. Walkure reprimanded them for not listening to her warning and then left. Hell started laughing after they were screamed at and advised to Takt how to befriend Walkure. Takt declined, but Hell approached and insisted on taking Walkure by force. She needed a conductor because she did not have one. Despite her harsh appearance, she was pure on the inside. Takt rejected the concept. Helen moved to Cosette, complimenting her eyes and said she needed an accessory in the same hue, but Cosette interrupted her. Helen stated that she liked them before exiting. Felix, on the other hand, questioned Anna about everything, and she told him. He informed her she was acting as if she was keeping them under surveillance, which puzzled her. In the evening, a large number of D2 animals appeared and Walker was taken aback because the Black Knight Siderite had been effectively blocked off. Takt prepared to lead and Cosette evolved into a fighter with Walker's guidance. However, as their strength dwindled, they began to lose their powers. Music carts without a conductor depleted their power considerably quickly. Takt looked up and saw another horde of D2s approaching. He told Cosette to shoot where he told her to, but he was out of energy and missed every shot. Walker intervened to protect him from an assaulting D2. Both the final 2 strokes, everything came together. He was aiming for the mountain to weaken it, causing it to collapse on the flying D2s. Walker praised Takt, conceding that he and Cosette could not have defeated the beasts on their own. Takt complimented her, mentioning Walker, which made her nervous. When a large D2 creature came, Takt and Walker were fatigued and unable to continue battling. Hell requested permission to fight, which Felix granted. Hell changed, approached the D2 beast, and eliminated it with 2 kicks. Takt was shocked at Hell's power. Felix discharged Walker since he no longer needed her. They arrived in the city and Felix spoke to Takt, praising his abilities and encouraging him to work for him, offering him a prominent position owing to his combat expertise. Takt declined, rushing to get to New York and left in his car, leaving Felix disappointed. Felix pledged never to forget his name. After several days, the company stopped in his city to purchase provisions for their trek. It was a ghost town, and Anna predicted that as they approached the East Coast, they would encounter more empty settlements. Cosette joked in the car, which surprised Takt given that she was supposed to act robotic. Cosette explained that it was because she was growing each day. They began to argue like previously, and Anna ordered them to keep silent. Takt stayed in the car when Anna and Cosette went shopping. An elderly guy worked in the store and informed the girls that this town was primarily populated by the elderly. He became immobile while gathering their goods due to a backache. So the girls sought to aid him. This is how they began to resolve people's issues. Takt had a dream about the day his father died, and he saw 2 silhouettes of people who had eradicated the D2 attacking him and his father. He awoke and went looking for the females after a long time, but when he heard music, he entered a bar. He browsed the cassettes and discovered his father's music. The bartender stated that he chose appropriate music and placed it. Takt was startled to learn that others admired his father after hearing him play. Takt then disclosed that Ken is his father. They were all shocked. As the girls concluded their errands and crossed the street, an elderly woman approached and dragged Anna Maria to her home, mistaking her for her daughter. Even when Anna tried to explain her she wasn't Maria, the woman refused to listen. Meanwhile, the bar staff showed Takt a room with a piano for him to play. Takt became excited and began to tune the piano. A man who had formerly performed with Ken was sorry because he was now old and unable to play. Takt told him that he was lucky to be alive because he would hear him play. He performed and everyone was in awe. Anna was approached by the woman's husband, who explained that Maria was their daughter who had died but lived on in his wife's mind. While telling the old woman how beautiful her sister was, Cosette also mentioned Takt and his passion for music. The woman fell asleep and the girls exited the house. They ran towards the automobile, concerned for Takt, but Cosette informed Anna of his whereabouts. They entered the bar and heard him perform magnificently. Everyone appreciated his performance and congratulated him before continuing their journey. In another scenario, a girl informs Commander Sagan that his master's son is still alive and has become a conductor. He is pleased to hear this news because he assumed the child had died alongside his father. He is confident that he will succeed because he is the rooster's son. Felix refused a request from a destitute village and boasted about his position in hell when Lieutenant Sagan summoned him to talk with him. Sagan informed Felix that he knew he planned to arrest the protagonist and warned him not to put a finger on him. Felix attempted to argue that Takt was using his power for personal gain, but Sagan intervened, claiming that he was certain he would require his power. Felix became furious and stated that he did not need someone like that and could handle everything, but Sagan silenced him, claiming he was useless. Felix, enraged, exited the room and went to the bathroom, vowing vengeance against the protagonist. Takt, on the other hand, hadn't slept and had black circles under his eyes since leaving the bar. He tapped his fingers against the pane as if it were a piano. During a scene change, the group entered the road and was eventually stopped by traffic. As the officer walked by, Anna inquired about what was going on, and the officer stated that many D2s had recently begun attacking the city, causing heavy traffic as people sought to flee. The sighting of a D2 near a mountain meant that the lives of those trapped here were in danger. Cosette informed the cop that she was a music art and would neutralize any threat. They got through the traffic and drove to a hotel. As they left Takt in his hotel room, he began sliding his fingers across the table. Anna became frustrated and Cosette approached him and smashed his neck. Takt dropped to the floor, frozen, and Cosette inquired as to what was on his mind. He looked her in the eyes, felt the warmth, and informed them that he had been writing a song. Anna felt like she was back at his place and she was delighted for him. So she decided to assist him by requesting that the hotel management arrange for him to play something. Takt was excited and mistook it for a piano, but it was actually a little portable instrument known as the melodica. He spent the entire night creating and the next morning his arm gone. He went outside and saw Cosette return from fighting several D2s. Takt questioned why she did not call him and Destiny explained that it was because his head was not in it. This way they got into a brawl. But he realized talking to her was pointless, so she excused herself to continue with her plans. Later, Takt tried to relax in the city, and he remembered his father telling him that what matters is who hears the song. But when he saw Cosette, he continued following her and witnessed her helping a woman buy food for her child. He also looked to get along well with the children. Anna appeared and inquired whether he was startled by Cosette's conduct. He asked how she located him, and she explained that she happened to come across a shady stalker. Takt responded yes, astonished to see her like that, and Anne explained that Destiny had met a lot of people and developed feelings along the way. She also told him that Cosette found the melodica she provided him. She was attempting to support him. She wondered if she was still Cosette below. The protagonist sits down for coffee with Cosette, who was already finished for sugary lunch. He asks her why Cosette and Anna were usually doing things together but now appear to be apart. She informs him that Anna has ceased calling her Cosette, which surprises Takt. She wonders what kind of person Cosette was before her death. He recalls the old Cosette and tells her not to ask that. During a scene change, we witness several officers shooting at a D2, yet is unaffected. The D2 emits a laser that easily knocks them down. Later, Destiny and Takt arrive and effortlessly defeat the monster. They go to the wilderness to find more D2s that have been hidden to prevent future attacks on the city. Takt, pallid from exhaustion and insomnia, asks the anxious Cosette to concentrate on the task at hand. Destiny suddenly detects a large number of D2s gathering in one location. They rush in only to find Hel and Felix surrounded by D2s. Takt is perplexed as he does not understand what is going on. Felix reveals that this is Hel's power. Attracting and awakening D2s, she utilizes a tone that compels the D2s to submit to her. Takt understands Felix has been attracting D2s to various cities with the goal of reducing population, feeling that useless people waste the world's resources. He declares himself a hero, supporting the world from the shadows. He aspired to build an ideal world in which only the chosen would gather. Takt claims he's crazy. Felix admits that he invited the D2s to destroy the city at the event where Cosette died. It was the first time he employed this power. Takt is outraged and vows to kill Felix. But Felix, who despised Takt, wanted to get rid of him. Takt moves extremely quickly and is ready to strike Felix, but Hel intervenes to protect him and attacks Takt. Takt surprises Felix with his speed. He demands that Hel leave, but she seemed to enjoy the confrontation. Cosette encourages Takt to calm down so they can consider things out, but he becomes enraged. Hel hits again, injuring Takt severely. Cosette carries Takt away from the scene. Felix asks Hel why she didn't murder them immediately then, and she says she wanted to have fun with them first. Felix, on the other hand, is concerned about Takt's sudden change in demeanor. Anna tries to convince the cops to let her in, but they refuse. She has unpleasant feelings about the scenario. Then Lenny and Titan arrive by motorcycle. Lenny can tell he's late based on Anna's look. Cosette takes the protagonist to a cave to heal, but he is bleeding profusely. When she tries to offer him water, he is unable to drink, so she shares it mouth to mouth. His wounds were septic, resulting in a high temperature. Throughout the night, Takt improves significantly and calls out to Cosette. She grabs his hand, reassuring him that she will not depart. Meanwhile, Hel notifies Felix that Titan and Lenny are nearby, but Felix pays little attention. Hel begins to hum, but Felix interrupts her, expressing his dislike for music and saying that after he rebuilds the world, music will be forbidden. Takt, upon waking, makes funny comments about the bandages, wondering why Cosette fled the battle. She describes how seeing him vulnerable made her think she might never hear him play the piano. Her acts were instinctual. She also discusses his unfinished song, and Takt acknowledges that he lacks someone to dedicate it to and is demotivated, subtly referring to Cosette. Takt tells Destiny about Cosette, revealing that she used to come to his place. Despite finding her aggravating at times, especially after losing his father, a piano provided him with comfort, and Cosette was always there to encourage him that his music might touch others. Witnessing the festival taught him that people had not abandoned music, but rather were waiting for someone to reintroduce it into their hearts. Following Cosette's death at the festival, he struggled to compose like he once did. Destiny encourages him to continue the song, underlining his enthusiasm and the eagerness of the audience for his music. Anna tells Lenny that Commander Felix wants to assassinate Takt and Destiny. Lenny assures her of their strength and encourages her not to flee from confronting Destiny, even if she no longer goes by the name Cosette. Lenny underlines that he is there to support them. The next day, Cosette bids an exhausted Takt goodnight, feeling bad for draining his energy. She faces Hel and Felix, stating that she does not require a master to fight them. Armed with an axe, she confronts the mighty Hel, surviving constant attacks. Takt awakens, realizes Destiny's disappearance, and heads out to find her. Hel grabs Destiny by the neck and demands her obedience, but Destiny remains steadfast, stating her desire for Takt to enjoy a tranquil life while playing the piano. As Hel prepares to snap Destiny's neck, Takt steps in and Lenny and Titan join the fight. Titan and Hel clash in a matched battle. Takt reassures Destiny that he has found someone who will listen to his music. Takt encourages Destiny, who feels honored, to utilize as much life energy as she needs. Lenny informs Felix that he is now at a disadvantage because Takt has recovered and Destiny has been altered. Destiny assaults Hel, who laughs maniacally and ignores the pain. Suddenly, both music hearts ascend into the sky, charging enormous strikes and simultaneously unleashing massive beams. Hel loses the battle but is determined to continue fighting. However, a girl named Heaven enters and stops the fighting. She informs Felix that she would disclose everything to the higher-ups per Sagan's orders. Felix's commander status and the right to own a music heart are revoked due to his apparent disregard for orders. Hel separates from Felix and breaks her baton before departing with Heaven. Lenny promises to keep this information a secret. Felix, still in shock, is unable to realize the gravity of the situation, clinging to the assumption that he is the most talented leader. The group ignores him and continues on, eventually finding Anna, who recognizes Destiny by her name. Takt tells Cosette in his heart that he will continue and finish the song. Lenny calls and receives notification that Felix has been detained, which gives him a sense of relief. Titan tells him that she will protect everyone he cares about, and he smiles before returning his attention to their objective. Later, the gang arrives in New York and is taken aback by the city's bustling and vibrant environment. The numerous buildings in modern city astound them. Anna reveals that New York is the only city that was able to defend the country's resources from the D2, which explains its mostly untouched state. However, Takt informs her that it is still unfinished without music. Anna reunites with her family and they all hug Destiny. Once inside, Charlotte, Anna's older sister, informs them that the lab is ready to examine Destiny. Destiny asks Charlotte if this experiment will prevent her from stealing Maestro's life power. They dash to the Sinfonica headquarters, a cutting-edge structure that left them in amazement. Once at the facility, Destiny insisted that Takt be examined as well. Anna noticed Takt's reddening arm and knew Destiny had been draining his life energy throughout bouts. Takt admitted this and Anna was unhappy that he hadn't told her. Takt emphasized that it was entirely his fault and she had no recourse. Charlotte noticed Destiny's question concerning Cosette's location while conducting her comprehensive check. This question made her feel nervous. After the exams were completed, Charlotte informed them that they would be unable to cancel Destiny and Takt's agreement. She added that both required the genetic disposition known as Alpha Youth for their emergence. Destiny survived thanks to the life force she consumed. Takt, as a conductor, received feedback from Destiny, which enhanced his battle powers. Their current forms exist as a result of mutual interference and consumption. This is why they will not be around long. However, Takt's arm infection is spreading to other regions of his body. Charlotte tells them to avoid arguments and live a tranquil life, telling them that if they continue to fight, they will perish. The next day, Destiny and Anna persuade Takt to leave his room for a day of shopping and fun at the aquarium and park. Anna has an idea to leave Takt and Destiny alone in the park while she and Charlotte return home. Takt treats Destiny to more sweets, and they continue walking, coming at a musician's memorial. Despite the city's lack of music, it was definitely popular. Takt, ignorant that others were waiting for the return of music, felt optimistic. They also paid respects to the artist. Meanwhile, Charlotte and Anna had a sisterly talk regarding their time apart and the development of Destiny and Takt. Anna explained that Destiny is similar like Cosette and their younger sister. As Takt and Destiny sat in the park discussing their hopes for a quiet existence, Takt expressed a desire to hear the orchestra's timbre again. Destiny, who could not yet comprehend life, desired to experience it. Takt pledged to realize this goal once they defeated all D2s. As Takt and Destiny return home, Destiny notices something unusual. She hears the saying tuning is hell and is concerned that if they don't act, the D2s will notice and respond. Anna learns from the news about the increased sightings and destruction of D2s in the city, which had emerged from their hibernation after 4 years. Lenny phones them, warns them that they are in danger, and informs Takt that the D2s are being used to attack them. Takt, who had previously guessed that someone was using Hell's tuning fork skills to control the D2s, impresses Lenny. To prevent future deaths, Lenny urges Takt to leave New York with Anna's family. Takt insists on understanding the truth, claiming that he is also a member of them and does not want to remain in the audience but rather take action. Takt perseveres in his desire to find the truth about Symphonica and his father's death, even as Lenny says his dying farewell. Lenny agrees to tell the truth and requests to meet the next day in a park. Lenny got the opportunity to hear Ken perform once and experience the light in music. He was inspired and aspired to be someone's light, but life had other plans for him. The following day, Destiny and Takt went out to meet Lenny. Just as Lenny is about to divulge all, Sagan appears, professing his willingness to discover the truth as well. They were all startled to see the Grand Maestro among them, since Sagan had been looking forward to seeing Takt, Ken's son. Lenny reveals that he extracted the truth from Felix and is aware of the situation. Takt concludes that Sagan is behind the tweaking. Lenny verifies Sagan's involvement. Hell and Heaven both appear. Sagan advises Lenny to remain silent in order to maintain their friendship, but Lenny refuses, labeling Sagan their adversary and warning that things would get worse if they don't stop him. Takt and Destiny prepare for fight, and Hell immediately begins attacking them. Hell asks Sagan whether she should hold back or go full assault this time. He assures her that if they continue to oppose him, they will be eliminated. Heaven tries to strike Titan, but she evades and prepares her weapon. Lenny encourages Takt to display the qualities of both a master and a pupil, but Takt is uncomfortable being referred to as a pupil. However, Sagan reveals the truth about Lenny. We next learn about Lenny's past as an apprentice to Takt's father. Lenny admired Ken and finally became a disciple. Ken, a kind-hearted person, decided to share his musical skills, and Lenny reciprocated. Lenny cautioned against having a concert that could attract D2 monsters. However, Ken, keen to brighten people's spirits, refused to call off the celebration. The scene turns to the venue's collapse, where Lenny sees Takt attempting to save his father from the debris. Lenny himself finds stuck beneath the rubble. Later, Lenny awakens on a stretcher and meets Sagan, who recognizes Lenny's abilities as a conductor. Sagan, desiring vengeance for Ken's murder and a desire to eliminate all D2 animals, persuades Lenny to join him. The next day, he is presented to his music art Titan. Lenny, who is normally somber, noticed a pleasant transformation after meeting Titan, and their relationship made him grin. Together, they set out on a mission to destroy D2 creatures all throughout the world, and after Sagan's pronouncement 4 years ago, the D2s became dormant. Returning to the present, Destiny and Titan fight against Hell and Heaven. The confrontation appears to be evenly balanced. Takt resolves to revive music and prepares for the upcoming struggle. Unfortunately, Titan is damaged as a result of a hail of gunshots. Destiny is left to confront her 2 opponents alone. Takt finds his life energy dwindling and his injuries spreading. Just as Destiny is about to fire a tremendous blast from her rifle, she reverts to her normal form and sees Takt has slumped nearby. Sagan orders Heaven and Hell to finish the task, and they shoot at Takt and Destiny. However, just as Heaven is ready to shoot Takt, Lenny steps in, taking the shots himself. Lenny, who is severely hurt, summons his last ounce of strength to deliver a tremendous performance. Titan morphs and unleashes a simultaneous attack. Lenny, conscious of his approaching doom, is motivated to win. Meanwhile, Sagan achieves nirvana, finding pleasure in the union of agony and bliss. Titan throws a massive blast at Hell in the last moments, but Heaven intercepts and defeats him. The turn of events drives Sagan and Hell to flee, with Sagan expressing excitement for Takt's future performances. On the ground, Lenny is in critical condition, and Titan, overcome with emotion, starts crying. Takt and Destiny contact Lenny, who encourages Takt to become a formidable music art like his father and cautions him from blaming himself. Lenny describes the aftermath of the catastrophe, when he sought forgiveness from a younger Takt, but instead resolved to establish a world in which the joy of music might flourish. Takt admits that Lenny was an important part of him, acting as both his harmony and mentor. Lenny eventually dies, and he enters a dream in which he and Takt play together, accompanied by Ken, who congratulates them. In another scene, Charlotte informs Anna that she is working as swiftly as possible on a cure for Takt and Destiny. Takt's condition is grave, and you may not survive another month. Meanwhile, Sagan manipulates crystals, causing an earthquake and unleashing a horde of D2 creatures over the city. The Symphonica headquarters, where Anna and Charlotte were, has been destroyed in the pandemonium. Takt awakens and learns about the dreadful scenario from the news. Concerned for Anna, he talks to Destiny about the situation. The music arts are up against an onslaught of D2 beasts. Takt and Destiny, with Titan's help, arrive at the building housing Anna and her sisters. The sisters attempt to flee, but are attacked by a D2 beast. Destiny and Titan engage the D2s in the building before making their way to the sisters. Titan urges Takt that after finding the sisters, they should leave the building and avoid additional combat due to their exhaustion from the day before. Titan considers killing Sagan to avenge Lenny and end the mayhem, but Takt and Destiny are determined to assist. Takt's life energy drains as they fight their way through the D2 creatures, causing him to collapse. Charlotte's wheelchair becomes a distraction, so Anna chooses to carry her. Just as a D2 was ready to assault Anna, Walkure appeared and defeated it. She tries to clear the area for Anna and Charlotte's safe evacuation, but the sheer number of D2 creatures makes it tough for her to handle alone. When Takt awakens, he encourages them to continue forward. Titan and Destiny arrive at the scene to assist Walkure and the sisters. Together, they defeat a massive D2 beast. Walkure, noting Takt's attitude, inquires as to what transpired, but he avoids eye contact. Frustrated, she demands an explanation, emphasizing her position as a Symphonica music artist. Takt orders Titan to accompany Anna, Charlotte, and Walkure to safety, as he intends to confront Sagan and bring an end to everything. Anna is outraged with Takt for endangering his life, claiming that he was on the verge of death himself. Takt, on the other hand, insists on protecting music, which will not be possible if Sagan lives. He thanks Anna for caring after them before leaving to confront the coming peril. Anna kisses Takt, insisting that Destiny return him safely, even if he is barely breathing, because Charlotte will find a way. Destiny promises to bring him back. Later, Destiny and Takt travel to the center, where they confront various D2 creatures, including Hell carrying Heaven. Hell notifies Heaven that it is time, and she uses a magical blade to destroy them both, allowing them to combine into a single music art, now known as Orphe. Orphe strikes them with lightning and various other weapons. Although Takt and Destiny activate their abilities, they struggle since Orphe regenerates quickly, and the weapons are more powerful than Destiny is used to. They know they must combine their efforts to deliver a tremendous, concentrated blow that eliminates Orphe without allowing her to recover. Destiny fights mercilessly, but despite Takt's efforts to create an opening, Orphe's regeneration is too rapid. Destiny makes the difficult decision to confront Orphe alone, urging Takt to stop Sagan. Takt agrees and goes forward. We read about Sagan's time in the army, battling against the D2 when they first came, experiencing the turmoil and loss of comrades and how this transformed him. He was always on the front line. One day, while witnessing the horrifying destruction caused by the D2s, he came across a crystal from which the D2s emerged. When he touched it, he knew just what to do. Takt approaches Sagan and informs him that he has come to put an end to all of this. Sagan wants a minute to chat, expressing his tremendous affection for the world. Meanwhile, Destiny is engaged in a furious battle with Orphe. Despite easily being beaten down, Destiny stands up, demonstrating that she, too, has been listening to Sagan's words. Orphe, enraged by Destiny's attitude, believes that Sagan is facing the suffering head-on and is the only brave one, unlike others who run away. Their swords collide, and the heated struggle takes its toll on Takt, turning his hair white. Sagan discloses his plan to seal all D2 by sacrificing himself, along with the city's population, in order to end the suffering for future generations. He explains his motivation, stating a desire to protect future generations from this horrific existence. Sagan fell in love with the concept of sacrifice and its glory. He informs Takt that it is time for his farewell performance. Meanwhile, Orphe holds Destiny down while she tries to kill her. Destiny intercepts the sword, resulting in a heated conflict. Despite initially losing, Destiny is strengthened by Takt's belief in her and recalls his trials. With her renewed tenacity, she finally wins the fight against Orphe. As the corruption swallows Orphe, Destiny kills her. Takt informs Sagan that music is their only hope and source of happiness. Takt uses Destiny's weapon to murder Sagan, shattering the city's crystals. Takt and Destiny talk on the beach. Takt hums the song he's been working on. Destiny assumed he'd given up when they arrived in New York. Even though he had the tune in mind, he needed to shape it as instructed by Destiny, who was born from music. Takt eventually decides to relax, trusting that others would arrive to save them. He dies, and Destiny, overcome with grief, kisses him to show her love before passing away. Anna and Charlotte discover Takt unconscious and holding Destiny's pendant. They try to help him with first aid. After a few months, we witness people rebuilding the city, with the sisters collaborating. Anna has also joined Symphonica. She wants to accomplish everything, so Takt recovers and restarts the music. This is the end of Takt OP Destiny. Thank you so much for staying in this channel and watching our videos. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel so we can keep you updated with our latest contents. See you in the next video.